Imagine a scenario. You just stepped out of your home and then you remember you forgot to turn off the TV. Or you even forgot to turn off the iron box. Or the worst, you forgot to lock your precious home. This uncertain situation is enough to spoil your entire day. But this wouldn't happen again if you could control the devices sitting here. Good evening, Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Smartphones, tablets, has developed extensively that it could control the devices at home sitting here. And how they actually do it. You all are aware of smartphone as well as applications. These smartphones can be loaded with smart home applications that could talk to the smart home devices at home. And what are these smart home devices? It's your TV, it's your light, it could be your AC, it can even be your iron boxes. There are lots of smart devices that is available in the market. Few are ready-made devices from companies like Microsoft, Google, General Electronics, and many more. These devices communicate through Wi-Fi or through special radio signals. I'm sure all of you are aware of Wi-Fi. That is the signal how our phones communicate with our network inside home or even through the network over here. The radio waves where these devices actually connect can be classified into three. First one is called Zig wave, second one Zigbee, and the third one can be classified as KNX. The first Zig wave is the one which works at a bandwidth of 6 bytes. This bandwidth is enough to turn on or turn off any devices, electrical devices at home. The second one, Zigbee, which works at a higher bandwidth of 256 bytes than Zig wave. More than turning off and turning on, this could send more information to your application. And the last one is called the KNX. It has unlimited bandwidth. Though this KNX is not utilized in the smart home devices at home, this is utilized for industrial purposes. However, nowadays, few companies are manufacturing devices that works on KNX. When you compare the prices, the first one, that is a Zig wave, the devices that works on Zig wave, is the most cost-effective one. The second, Zigbee, it's expensive than the first one, but few companies like Google has developed thermostat like Nest, which works on the second Zigbee. At the moment, only two waves are used, that is the Zig wave as well as the Zigbee. Now, lots of devices, smart home devices are available in the market. That is, you have, as I told you, have thermostats from Google called Nest, which could control your AC through the smartphone or any tablet. Second thing, there are refrigerators that's coming from LG, which can again communicate to your smart device. And most of you will be having a TV at home. And at least few would be having smart TV at home. Right?
Yes.
Even that is called as a smart device. And that works either on a Wi-Fi or even through a cable which can be hooked up to that. The problem with these devices is these devices require a separate application to control. That is, LG requires a separate application, Google requires a separate application, and Google requires a separate application to control. But we can solve another problem here. If we have a device that works on one single wave, that is either Zigbee or Z-Wave, everything can be integrated into one particular application. People like me don't like too much of application. where the devices can be controlled. That is, if I have an application where I can control only the lights, if I have an application that I can control only the AC, it would be too difficult to manage. So, what my advice would be, when you are actually planning to purchase any smart devices, you need to make sure that either it works on Zigbee or on Z-Wave. And let's say that you are not planning to buy your devices to a new one. Any device that is currently over here or at home can be converted into a smart device. How you do that? You could connect sensors to these devices. If it is a light, it can be connected inside the switchboard over here. If it's an AC, it can be connected to the thermostat. If it is any electrical devices, let's say that timer machine or any kettle or something like that, there are plugs that is available which can be hooked between the plug as well as the power socket. Now let's imagine a situation where we have converted our entire device into a smart home device. How our life is going to be. In the morning, instead of the cracking sound from the alarm, the light music could wake us up. By the time we wake up, the coffee machine, which is again converted to a smart home device, can make our coffee ready, both for me as well as for my wife. We don't have to bother about it. So, when we step out of home, and if we are carrying these devices while traveling out of home, our home automatically knows that we are outside. And it will switch our home into an away mode so that the entire home is locked up and it is secured. While we come back from office, at a certain position, the GPS system inside our car can actually track when we are reaching our home. And it can make our home ready for our arrival. The ACs, during summer season, the ACs can be switched on much before our arrival. When we enter the home, the lights can be switched on, lights can be changed according to our mood. The entertainment system can learn our habits and it can be timed accordingly, when it should be on, when it should be off. And more than convenience, these devices has the ability, these devices gives us a report when it is actually used, when it is not used, how much we are using it, and all these stuff. And what is the convenience of that? We could actually reduce our utility bill. And more than that, the CCTV, the smart CCTV that is nowadays available, too can be integrated, which makes the intruder away from our home, or it can warn us before anybody is trying to enter it. So, friends, these devices, whether you incorporate now or later, the change is going to happen. Because the devices that we have nowadays, if not converted into a smart, it gives out lots of carbon emission. And change is going to come either now or later. If we start using it now, we can set the standards for that one. Otherwise, people who are using it now set the standard and we'll have to follow it. So I advise all of you to convert all your current appliances to a smart home appliances so that the devices will work for you. It has the sense to communicate your needs and desire, and it will work as your requirement. Over to you.